What's up, everybody? Back again. Bypassed Deep Dive, episode 20. Man, we've been pouring through this bypass content. It's been a lot of fun for me to take these little clipped images, little clipped videos that have a deep message, but just give it to you in a funny, raw, authentic way, and then getting together right now and unpacking it for you on what's really going on, going deep on these conversations so that you guys can take this, augment your business, and continue to do great things. So let's watch the clip.
Not all leads are the same. Some are active, ready for battle. Others are non-active. Your approach for each will be different. Welcome to #Bypassed. For active leads, you're going to want to build rapport over the phone, via text, and on social. These people are ready to get the process started. They just might need a little help.
I'm ready to buy a house. I just don't know where to begin.
Awesome. Let's set up a call and go from there. I'm also working this weekend if you need any help while you're out house hunting. I engage that high intent active lead and let them know I'm a resource they can use.
Honestly, I don't know why I pushed that get a mortgage button on your website.
This is a non-active lead. They're not ready to buy yet. I will put them in my lead management system.
Your lead management system is your business's engine.
Because whenever they're ready, I want to be top of mind. Want to know more? Well, this is one in a series. So follow on whatever platform you're watching this on and we'll make sure you don't get...
All right, simple, funny, but there's a deep reality here on lead management that we have to talk about. So many people, if you've watched any of the Bypass Lead Management Series stuff, we understand that you need to have a workflow, a process in which you take a customer, whether it's from a realtor, from a past customer, from a lead you buy on the internet, and take them through a process designed to get them from A to B. A is just an introduction, a hello, a conversation. B is going to be a pre-approved, walking around, ready to buy a house, offer-ready candidate. Obviously, then we get to the funding part, and that's the fun part. But that's the process, my friends. We got to get them from A to B. Now, your active leads, let's just go a little bit deep on that conversation for a minute. I know for a fact, because you're like me, that you have worked leads and then forgot to follow up. Fair? I know. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. You forgot to follow up, in which case they bought with somebody else, didn't they? I remember specifically in my origination career, back in the glory days, when I would call somebody after a week or two, totally having forgotten about them, and be like, oh, Johnny, what's going on? Alec, oh my God, I hadn't heard from you. We bought a house. And I'm like, And if it happened to me, it's definitely happened to you. And I know the feeling is the worst thing in the world. So let's just unpack active leads for a second. These are people that you're talking to out there buying a house. Now, what's your process to get them to become a fully underwritten, pre-approved, not just pre-qualified through AUS, underwritten, approved candidate? What's your process? If you don't have one, you need to. And the process should look like a systemized attempt to contact strategy that shows them the value of actually being approved, right? That walks them through what it means, how the process works, and the value it'll give to them to be fully approved for a loan. That peace of mind, they're not gonna have to go through the approval process when they get an escrow. The peace of mind that they're gonna get offers accepted easier and faster because they're fully underwritten, approved, and ready to go. Those are conversations that you need to have with these active leads. And I'll tell you what, if you're not contacting your active leads every single week, I coach specifically to Fridays, but every single week, if you're not talking to your pre-approved active shopping customers, you are putting yourself at risk of their business, losing their business. So that's the deep conversation we have to have. What is your process on taking somebody from a conversation to a pre-approved underwritten guy or gal or family? What's your process to take them from there to there? And then what's your process to make sure that every single week you're reminded and remembering and actually calling them, and at minimum a video message once a week, preferably on Friday before they go out shopping for homes. It's a good time to have them remember who you are. Okay, but we got the active lead stuff. And some of you guys don't use CRMs and you're using Excel docs, you're on sticky notes. Maybe it works for you, but you got to get a little more systemized if you want your business to scale. But that's the active lead part. We got it. Good, solid, easy. Let's talk about the non-active leads. These are people that, you know the type. You contact them. They're not really ready. They're not really interested. At least that's what they're telling you. And I'll tell you right now, some people are blowing you off. So you got to stay consistent with your follow-up with them. But let me ask you, what's your process to stay in touch with those non-active leads? Frog in the throat. How often do you reach out to them? What do you say? Again, going back to this concept of a workflow, what's your process to take a non-active lead and get them active, or at least to be in the conversation with them so that when they become active, you're there? What's your process? I hope it's not you call them every week, because now that feels intrusive. I told you I wasn't ready to buy a house and you call me every Friday, not going to work. But what is your process? Do you have one? What's the system you use to remind you to call that person and when? See, again, with sticky notes and Excel docs, it's easy if you got 3. Fine. I got 3 non-active leads. I pull up my Excel doc every couple of weeks. I look at it and decide if I should give them a call. That's what you're doing, isn't it? Isn't it? Or do you not even have one, which is the other group of people, which is like, I don't know, I call them and then I decide to move on. So for example, at a minimum, a non-active lead should be contacted once a month with something valuable and relevant. Maybe it's housing data because you're a data nerd, kind of an economist style brand, and you like that stuff. So you share with them what's happening with home prices. Maybe it's information about, hey, if you're really waiting to buy, if you're non-active, like I'm not going to buy, maybe it's some information about the cost of waiting. Maybe it's sharing with them the appreciation that has happened in the communities they were looking at over the last 5 to 10 years. Maybe it's information about potentially where interest rates can be going, not in a scare tactic way, because those people suck. Don't sell like that. But in the way that actually shows them, hey, in this potential reality where rates maybe move to here or here or here, here's where your monthly payment goes on the exact same loan amount you would have now. Do you see the difference? One is education-based and one is fear-based, and one is consistent and one is a non-existent plan that you're not executing on. So cold leads are just as valuable as human beings as warm leads and active leads. You just need to have a plan and a system to tell you when to follow up, or else you will forget. You will forget. Apparently, I'm forgetting to use certain languages or consonants now. Because let's just break it down the reality. You get cold leads, you stop following up, you talk to them for a little bit, they're not interested, and you don't do anything else. Is that fair? That's what we're doing. But what if you actually used a CRM system? What if you actually put in there for that lead a task to hit them again next month? So all of a sudden, you've set that up. You can forget about it. Go back to your emails, go back to your cat memes, go back to watching YouTube. I don't really care. What's going to happen in 30 days is the system's going to send you a notification. Bing, bing, bong, call the Smiths. And then you probably won't call them, but at least maybe you'll send them a video text that goes, hey, I had my little tickler to just check in with you. I don't know if anything's changed in your situation, but if it has, I'm here to help. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Send. But if you don't have a system, if you don't have a process, if you don't have a system reminding you, you will not remember, you will forget, and you will move on. But now I hope you're getting a little bit of a glimpse into the snowball effect. Imagine as you're amassing these non-active leads, whether you're buying them, getting them referred in, whatever, your past customers, imagine you're amassing them. And as you amass them, you now have 5, you now have 10, you now have 30 non-active leads that you get to now cultivate a relationship with. And every month you can send them a little check-in, a little piece of information about the economy, a little piece of information about the news, about rates, about the market, about appreciation. And all of a sudden those 30, 2 of them turn active, 2 of them turn into deals. And guess what? You probably have a chance to refer that customer to your realtor of choice at that point, assuming they didn't come with one at the beginning. Now you got absolute massive opportunity because you had a plan. Because you had a plan and you executed your plan. So let me ask you this, as that's kind of the tail end of the deep dive here on this active versus cold leads. What's your plan for active leads? How often do you touch base? What do you say? And how do you get them from active shopping to active shopping with your fully underwritten pre-approval? Write that down. Solve that question for your business. And then on the non-active leads, what's your process of follow-up? What's the system you're going to use that's going to remind you to call them in a certain time interval that's right for you? 30 days, 45, whatever is right for you. It's going to ask you, that's going to automatically check in with you and remind you, hey, call the Smiths, call the Johnsons, check in, ask them how they're doing. Those are the big 2 questions I have for you on the deep dive today. You answer those 2 questions, you build a system around those 2 questions, and you are absolutely ahead of the pack. I bet you can increase your production by 15 to 20% just doing that. Those 2 things. Not joking. Look, imagine the snowball. Imagine taking those non-active leads and cultivating them over time, sharing information, being a relevant provider of data and knowledge. They're going to build rapport with you. They're going to grow to like you because you're a special person. And then all of a sudden, when they're ready, your business is going to go up. Guaranteed. Do the math. Science. Appreciate you guys. Answer those 2 questions. I'm serious. I'm going to hit you again. Answer these 2 questions. What are you doing to take an active, interested lead and converting them into a fully underwritten, approved lead out there shopping? What education do you send them? What are the emails and the texts and the calls that you're having with that person that you can check off in a machine and in a system to say, yes, I did that one. Yes, I did that one, to take them from A to B. And the second question you have to answer for your business is, what system are you going to use to make sure that you have a consistent follow-up strategy with non-active leads? They're going to become active. You need to educate them. You need to be there for them when they do. Have a wonderful day.